Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Going to be talking about every movie I watched last week, and it was a busy week. I watched 26 movies last week, so let's waste no time. Let's get into it. Starting it off with my least favorite watch of the week, which was Creepshow 3, which actually joins my bottom 10 movies of all time. This thing is the biggest piece of dog shit. And yeah, 3 out of 100. Fuck, man. Alright, let's just keep it going. We're gonna kind of rapid fire some of these. Then we watched The Dead Don't Die, which, kind of keeping with the zombie theme as I have been most of this Halloween season, at least this month, and watched a couple more zombie movies this week. This was another one, and this movie was okay. It's just really slow and boring, and then the end of the movie just bats you over the head repeatedly with the themes of the film, and I didn't like that. So overall, 39 out of 100. Liked Adam Driver. I had an Adam Driver week this week as well, which is kind of ironic. Let's move on to Prince of Darkness, which I ranked a 42 out of 100. I now only have one movie left for my goals of John Carpenter's films, and this was kind of scratching that off the list. So I didn't really enjoy this movie. I honestly couldn't tell you what any of this movie was about or what happened in this movie. I really didn't understand anything. I feel like I didn't even pay attention. Like I didn't even retain anything that happened in this movie. So ranked it a 42 out of 100. And let's move on to one of the themes of the week, which was Insidious, starting it off with my least favorite of the franchise, which is Insidious Chapter 3, which I ranked a 58 out of 100. It is okay. It's just my least favorite of the franchise. So far, the two Lee Wanell directed movies that I've watched, Insidious Chapter 3 and Wolfman, I don't really care for either of them, to be honest. I really got to watch The Invisible Man and Upgrade, I believe, is his other one. But, yeah, anyways, 58 out of 100. Let's move on to, I think, one of the newest, or the newest movie on this list, which is a 2025 release, Death of a Unicorn. Something I didn't get to see in theaters, and it was okay as well. Ranked at a 59 out of 100. Wish there was more Will Poulter, and yeah, there's some moments in this that I enjoyed. There's some moments in this that were just okay, you know? I didn't really care for the ending either, but whatever. 59 out of 100. Let's move on to Insidious: The Last Key. And for some reason, way back when I started watching horror movies in about 2016, 2017, 2018, in those couple of years, more so I guess probably 2017 and 18, I went to go see this in theaters, and truthfully, I have no idea. I don't remember who I seen this in theaters with. I have an idea, but I'm really not sure. And I also had not watched any of the other Insidious movies prior to watching this movie. So, very interesting. Ranked this as 63 out of 100. It's decent, I think. It's better than, I think it's better than what most people do, but yeah, horror movies are very subjective, so. And let's move on to Insidious: The Red Door, which is Patrick Wilson's directorial debut, which I enjoyed. I think there's some pretty solid moments throughout this, definitely some good tension building, and I think he's got quite a good eye for horror. So I'm hoping to see more of his films in the future. Hopefully we'll get more of his films in the future. But yeah, rank this a 66 out of 100. And let's move on to Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, also one of the themes of the week. Finally finished Star Wars with Mel. We probably could have finished this months ago, truthfully, if maybe Mel had just committed to it a little bit more, because she wasn't really interested in a lot of Star Wars, especially not the show. She didn't want to watch any of the shows. We'd only watched season 1 of Mandalorian together. I showed her a couple things from Clone Wars, Ahsoka, Boba Fett, Rebels. I think that's about it. So, anyways, The Rise of Skywalker. I think I dislike it more and more every time I watch it. I feel like it's kind of got that, like, well, first of all, this is literally Avengers Endgame, but in Star Wars. And I realized this time around just how many comparisons there actually is to Avengers Endgame. If you rewatch it, you'll really notice it, I think. And it's kind of hilarious that Disney put out both of these movies in the same year, Endgame and Rise of Skywalker. And Rise of Skywalker is like almost just a copy and paste. Pretty like it's like can I borrow your homework? And yeah, just don't copy it and make some changes to it. That's basically what this is. And like I said, it just gets worse each time. And I ranked it a 68 out of 100. It's okay. There's definitely still some moments I enjoy in it. This is the first time I've rewatched this in quite a long time. But from what I can remember, every time I watch this, I like it less and less. But I liked this movie enough because this was the movie that got me into Star Wars. So I am thankful for this movie. For some reason, I just decided to go with my family way back when in 2019 to go see this with them. And I hadn't seen any of the previous Star Wars movies. And I liked it enough to want to see it. So, or to want to actually watch the franchise. So, yeah, anyways, let's keep going. On to Creepshow number 2, which I ranked a 69 out of 100. I believe there was only 3 shorts in this Creepshow, and they're all decent. I really enjoyed The Raft. The Raft was definitely my favorite, and that seems to be most people's favorite. It's pretty enjoyable. Great special effects as well. And yeah, I mean, each one of these shorts are decent, I think. Ranked this a 69 out of 100. Let's move on to Insidious Chapter 2, which I ranked a 71 out of 100. All I wrote for my review is I should have known that the partnership of Lee Wan-el and James Wan would have not only cooked, but they would have connected something somewhere. And yeah, that's exactly what this franchise is, same as the Saw franchise. It just connects. It all connects. Insert Charlie Day meme. But yeah, I enjoy this movie. James Wan has such a great lens or eye for behind the lens, I guess, is what I was trying to say, and in his horror bag, and I really enjoy that. And yeah, 71 out of 100. I really enjoyed this movie as well. And I also finished my goal to finish James Wan's filmography this year, this week. So that was pretty good. We'll talk about a couple others here shortly. But let's move on to They Live, which is a John Carpenter film that I've been wanting to watch. And this is an awesome movie, to be honest. I definitely recommend this for anyone that's interested in like sci-fi, action, horror. It's definitely not horror, but there's some like spooky elements, I'd say, more than anything to this. And obviously aliens kind of add to that. And Roddy Piper is also a lot of fun in this movie. He's really hilarious as well. Rest in peace to one of the biggest legends in WWE, WWF, I guess. And yeah, this is a good movie, and I'd recommend it as well. It turns out it's kind of in the upper half of my John Carpenter films as well, ranked at a 71 out of 100. Let's move on to Sinister, which I ranked a 73 out of 100. This movie was somewhat disappointing because I expected to be scared more than I was. And don't get me wrong, I felt the anxiety through this movie. I felt fear, but I don't know. I think I just expected more. And there were definitely some moments that didn't scare me. There's some jump scares that didn't scare me. The thing that scared me the most was also the thing that, like, as it was happening, I knew exactly what was going to happen. It was that lawnmower scene, and it still scared me the most. It was sinister. But, yeah, it's still a good movie, obviously. It's a very interesting movie. It's got a good plot as well. But, yeah, 73 out of 100. Let's move on to, sorry, I think this is the newest on the watch this week, which was Tron Ares, which I ranked a 74 out of 100. Feel free to read my review, or at least the first paragraph of it, but I'll just kind of say it. Like, for me personally, I have always been the type of person to like a movie or like music or a song or an album, depending on what it sounds like or what it looks like, and in a movie's case, what it looks and sounds like, which Tron Ares looks amazing, and the soundtrack is awesome, so it's enough for me to enjoy it. I personally don't care about a plot or writing too much. Usually I don't. It doesn't usually bother me. Is this a great acting performance from anyone in this cast? No, there's really not. But again, this is just kind of that, fun sci-fi action with a great soundtrack, which I personally believe the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack is far better than anything Daft Punk did with Tron Legacy as well. So yeah, really enjoyed this. Ranked it a 74 out of 100. Well, I wouldn't say really enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. Let's move on to The Birds, which, going through Alfred Hitchcock's filmography, is one of my goals of the year. Pretty much none of his movies are on streaming services, so it's a little bit harder for me to get through them, but nonetheless, The Birds, I ranked a 78 out of 100. I personally have never had a fear of birds, but I understand it. Two of my best friends have fears of birds. One has a fear of crows, one has a fear of geese, and yeah, I mean, I get it, I guess, birds are creepy and they are dangerous, and yeah, definitely the thing I loved most about this was Tippi Hedren, who was absolutely amazing, gorgeous, and yeah, I enjoyed this movie. 78 out of 100. Alright, let's move on to The First Creepshow, which I ranked a 79 out of 100. This is really good. I really enjoyed this. There's like two standout shorts in this one. The Crate, which I really enjoyed, and Something to Tide You Over, because Leslie Nielsen is awesome, obviously. But yeah, I really enjoyed those, and it seems like those are probably the consensus best of this franchise as well. And yeah, definitely enjoyed this movie. This is a movie I'd recommend to someone as well. 79 out of 100. Let's move on to Clue, which is one of my coworkers' favorite movies of all time. He's recommended this movie to me a bunch. Mel has actually seen this movie without me. Finally got around to watching it. Happy 40th anniversary to Clue. Ranked it an 81 out of 100. I had a really great time with this. It's really, really funny. I love the cast. It's a lot of fun, or they're a lot of fun, and yeah, overall I really enjoyed this more than I thought I was going to, considering a lot of the people that I follow on Letterboxd that have ranked this movie, I think the highest was a 3 star. So not many people seem to love this movie, even though it's got a 3.9 average, so it doesn't really make much sense to me, but nonetheless, I enjoyed it. Ranked it an 81 out of 100. And let's move on to Insidious, which is my favorite of the franchise. I also ranked this movie an 81 out of 100. Definitely some fun scenes throughout this movie. This movie is super gray, super like blue, and like a dark gray blue kind of tint, I guess, sorry. And overall, it's a good movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Definitely some good scares as well, and some good moments, which, yeah, ranked it an 81 out of 100. It was good. I really enjoyed it. First time watching it, so. Alright, let's move on to In the Mouth of Madness, which I have two back-to-back John Carpenter films here, but yeah, In the Mouth of Madness, a really good psychological thriller with a wonderful performance from Sam Nielsen. He's really awesome in this, and yeah, I mean, I had a really great time with this. The plot, I feel like, is a really interesting one as well, and it kind of puts you in the edge of your seat, which, to be honest, I don't really feel that much with... I said Sam Nielsen. I meant Sam Neill, my bad. Yeah, I don't really feel like many of John Carpenter's films put me on the edge of my seat, but this one did, and I enjoyed it, so slay. 83 out of 100. Let's move on to The Thing, which is my favorite of John Carpenter's films. It's just ahead of In the Mouth of Madness, but they're pretty close to each other, I'd say. Anyways, rate this an 84 out of 100. This is a really crazy movie. The special effects in this movie are insane, and they looked amazing considering it's, over 40 years old. It's a really great movie, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. This is probably like one of the most iconic horror movies of all time, and it's really great. Ranked at an 84 out of 100. All right, and let's keep it going. Moving on to The Black Phone, which is a movie I've seen before. I didn't get a chance to go see The Black Phone 2 this week. I think I'm going to this week sometime. Anyways, ranked this an 86 out of 100. I believe I lowered it from an 89 down to an 86, if I'm not mistaken. Even though I think I remember I enjoyed this more than what I remember enjoying it the first time I watched it. But my ratings back when I first watched this movie in 2021 definitely have changed. The way I rank movies have changed a lot. So that rating doesn't really make much sense to me. That probably would have been more of like a 79 at the time. But anyways, I really enjoyed this movie. It's an 86 out of 100. It's, I think, my second favorite Scott Derrickson movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Black Phone 2 because it looks really awesome, and I've heard it's really good. And I really like that like grainy film. I think that's a great addition to the horror genre, and I really enjoy that from Scott Derrickson. So let's move on to Star Wars The Last Jedi, which I ranked an 86 out of 100. At one point or another, this was my third favorite Star Wars movie. It has dropped down the list a little bit. I did have this previously ranked, I believe, a 93 out of 100, down to an 86. So I still really love this movie. I personally don't have many problems with this movie compared to others. But rewatching this trilogy, this Disney trilogy, I've definitely noticed more flaws in it. And even though it's still my favorite franchise, and some of these movies are still some of my favorite movies ever, I really do enjoy this movie. There's certain moments and certain characters that I really fucking hate in this movie, specifically Rose. She's literally my least favorite character in all of Star Wars. But yeah, anyways, ranked at an 86 out of 100. Let's move on to Shaun of the Dead, which I ranked an 87 out of 100, and this is actually starting the top 5 of the week. It's a really funny movie. It's my favorite of Edgar Wright's films that I've watched so far. I gotta watch Hot Fuzz and At World's End, or The World's End, whatever it is. And anyways, really enjoyed this movie. It's really funny. It's got some great moments, and yeah, this is an all-time zombie movie as well, obviously. Ranked at an 87 out of 100. Let's move on to Malignant, which I ranked an 88 out of 100. This was the last of the James Wan films I wanted to watch, which is really the last of his films. There's only one that I haven't seen, which I believe is Death Sentence. I've seen all of his other movies, so I enjoyed this. Ranked it an 88 out of 100. This is really awesome. It really subverted my expectations. I didn't know this was going to be like a horror, action, thriller, mystery. Like, that's totally what it is, but I really enjoyed it. I thought this was just going to be a scary fucking movie, but this is just a great fucking movie. And it seems to be a lot of people don't like this movie. I feel like a lot of people that are familiar with James Wan's work, with Insidious and The Conjuring, they probably see this, they expect to be really scared, and although there are scary moments in this movie, this is definitely more of him flexing his muscles behind the camera and showcasing his creativity, which I really love. I love when a director tries something different or tries something outside their normal field, I guess I'll say. And I also love Annabelle Wallis. So yeah, really enjoyed this movie. Ranked an 88 out of 100. Let's now move on to the top 3 of the week, starting it off with Harry Potter 20th Anniversary Return to Hogwarts, which I really enjoyed. Ranked it a 90 out of 100. Easily became one of my favorite documentaries I've ever seen. I really enjoyed this. And I got to watch it with Mel, which was nice, which we actually started this movie or this documentary way back when, at the start of our relationship. But even though we hadn't watched Harry Potter together at that point, we started watching this. We just never finished it. So this time we started it over. We watched the whole thing, especially after just recently finishing the Harry Potter movies, which I'm going to probably watch Fantastic Beasts this week. We had started the first one. Mel wasn't really into it, so I'm going to do that by myself because it's something I've never watched and I've always wanted to. But nonetheless, rank this a 90 out of 100. Let's move on to The Descent, which this movie inspired me to make a top 10 scariest movies on Letterboxd. Top 10 scariest movies list on Letterboxd. So go and check that out because this, although it may not be the scariest movie ever, this is one of the most anxiety-inducing movies I've ever seen. It's tremendous. Like, it's so good, and this is going to be a movie that I'm really looking forward to showing to some of my friends because this movie's fucking horrifying, and there's such tight spaces, and I love it. There's many moments where I'm literally gagged. My jaw is on the fucking floor because of what is happening, and yeah, this movie's a trip. Ranked at a 92 out of 100. Really enjoyed this movie. And let's move on to my favorite watch of the week, which a 94 out of 100 for Star Wars The Force Awakens, which I love this movie. I really love this movie. I think I love it more every time I watch it. And it is 1 point lower than A New Hope, but I know a lot of people say this is just A New Hope but worse, which is fair. I still really enjoy this movie, and the way that this trilogy starts is really great, and J.J. Abrams has, in both The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, has a beautiful eye for like visual shots and visual pieces, visual, I don't know, scenes, I guess, cinematography, depending on the case, in these two Star Wars films and his two Star Trek films. And I really love that. It's so easy on the eyes because it's just a gorgeous movie to watch. I do think Force Awakens is even more gorgeous. It looks fantastic. And I love the potential that we get from the start of this trilogy. It's just sad to see where it goes. So, nonetheless, one of my favorite watches of the month so far. And we'll see how that shapes up in the next few days, I guess. But anyways, thank you guys all so much for watching. Sorry this one was a long one. I did watch a lot last week, so my bad. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.